What if the thing you call shyness isn't your personality at all, but an old safety program your brain learned to run? That program means well. It tries to protect you from embarrassment by pulling you away from people before you even notice what's happening. Today, you won't smash that program. You'll update it. You'll teach your nervous system that closeness is safe, that your voice deserves to be heard, and that confidence isn't a gift you're born with or without. It's a skill you build with small signals and repeatable drills until it becomes your second nature. The book's core message is simple and powerful. Emotional intelligence drives every social skill you admire. The more clearly you notice what you feel, name it, and regulate it, the faster your prefrontal cortex returns to the steering wheel. The threat alarm quiets. Your mind opens for conversation. You read the room more accurately, and you build bridges instead of walls. Think of emotional intelligence as 4 connected pillars. Self-awareness hears the signal before it becomes a storm. Self-management turns raw emotion into a deliberate step. Social awareness reads the unspoken stage around you. Relationship management turns brief moments into dependable connections. Start with the body, because feelings show up there first. Tight jaw, warm face, cool hands, shallow breath. The moment you notice a signal, give it a short name in a calm voice. Tension, awkward, urge to retreat. Labeling slows the nervous system because you've announced that someone responsible is in charge. Let the first wave pass for about 1.5 minutes while you extend each exhale a little longer than the inhale. Don't decide anything in the middle of the wave. Observe it, and it will crest and fade. Then ask a practical question. What do I actually need right now? Safety, respect, clarity. Once you know the need, the next move is easier. Make a small request, state a kind boundary, or take a brief reset without ghosting the moment. Self-management lives on one golden idea. Use the smallest workable version. Don't try to conquer a full room when you're learning. Open a small window. Offer one genuine hello. Ask one open question. Add one short value-adding comment. Your brain loves clarity. When you ask it for the exact next step you can do within a minute, anxiety drops because the fog has been replaced by a tiny mission. Stack tiny receipts every day. A hello becomes a question becomes a story becomes a relationship. With time, the story you tell yourself about yourself changes without theatrics or self-punishment. Now expand your attention outward. Read the room, not just the words. Watch eyes, voice tone, pace, and shoulders. Where does a person open and where do they tighten? Ask questions that give people space to bloom. What pulled you into that project? What taught you the most this month? What's the next step you're considering? The goal of a question isn't to show off your smarts. It's to light a stage where the other person can bring their best forward. People remember the ones who helped them understand themselves, not the ones who delivered the longest speech. Turn moments into bridges. Start interactions with a warm, short sentence that says who you are and why you're reaching out. Clarify the purpose of a meeting in one line, then end with a concrete next step and a time. Praise in public. Fix in private. Set polite limits that protect your energy. This time is reserved for deep work. I can follow up after 4 or early Monday. When you talk like this, chaos drops around you and the noise inside your head calms down. Body and voice are tools, not decorations. Stand balanced with relaxed shoulders and your chin level with the floor. Slow your breathing slightly. Let your pace be half a notch slower than your nerves want. Open your palms when you explain. Lift your eyebrows just a touch when you ask. If you blank out, return to the stabilizer line. Give me a moment to think out loud. Those seconds give your brain time to place your words where they belong. Active listening is half the craft. Listening isn't empty silence. It's presence that carries the speaker. Look, nod, mirror the gist in one honest sentence, Then ask a follow-up. When someone feels understood, friction softens. Conversation becomes a shared project, not a zero-sum contest. A useful personal rule is simple. Spend most of your time listening and being present, and save the rest for focused speech that adds value. Conflict has a dignity protocol. Describe what happened without guessing motives. State how it landed on you and how it affects the work or the relationship. Ask for one clear, doable change. When I'm interrupted mid-idea, I lose the thread and the meeting slows down. I need to finish the point, then I'll hand it back to you. If you mess up, offer a clean apology with 3 parts. What happened without excuses, acknowledgement of the impact, and what you'll change so it doesn't repeat. A clean fix raises respect more than a fragile defense. Before busy rooms or new settings, build a pre-entry routine. Prepare 3 short human stories from your week, 3 open questions that fit the event, and 1 simple intention. I'll connect meaningfully with 2 people and send a brief follow-up within a day. Inside the room, live by the one-person rule. For a few minutes, let the person in front of you be the entire universe. Then move on gracefully. Shallow contact with 20 people rarely beats small, repeated depth with a few. If this approach is helping, and you want 1 clear idea plus 1 ready-to-use action in a calm audio format each day, subscribe to Audiobook Lounge. It turns emotional intelligence into a daily habit that runs on its own. Train your nervous system with gradual exposure. Picture a ladder of 10 steps from gentle to demanding. Start with simple hellos to several people in a single day. Add a short question to a service worker. Hold a 2-minute chat with a coworker about something neutral. Share a brief opinion in a smaller meeting. Introduce yourself in a volunteer group. Have a 5-minute conversation with someone you don't know during a break. Ask 1 thoughtful question in a larger room. Deliver a mini talk with 1 slide. Facilitate a short discussion with a clear close. Handle a tough conversation using the dignity protocol. Don't climb until you've repeated the current step a few times with a good outcome. You're not passing a test. You're retraining your alarm. Give your week a rhythm that protects your energy. Mark a couple of push days where you move your social or professional projects forward. Keep several maintenance days for responses and cleanup. Leave space for learning and genuine rest. Separating push and maintenance prevents burnout and gives you the calm feeling of control that comes from not carrying everything every single day. Stock your story bank. Keep a small set of honest, human stories with a clear why and a learned ending. The first time you presented and stumbled, and how you prepped differently after. A difficult client whose anger you turned into teamwork. A failure that taught you your limits and how to defend them. Stories like these make your conversations flesh and blood. They remind people they're meeting a person, not just a resume that walks. Carry a question library that moves talk toward meaning. What did you learn this month? What are you trying to improve right now? If you could rewind a year, what would you start sooner? What book or podcast changed your mind recently? What small step would make next week better? Questions like these steer conversation away from weather and headlines and toward growth and clarity. There's digital etiquette that saves time and relationships. Good messages start with a kind greeting, state a clear purpose, deliver 1 focused point in a short paragraph, and end with a specific ask and timing. Before you hit send, check 2 things. Is this clear? Does it care for the relationship? When text heat rises, a quick call cools it. 1 minute of voice can erase an hour of misread tone. At work, maintain a 3-part network. An ally you trade support with, a mentor whose hindsight you borrow, and a person you mentor. Give this little triangle a half-hour of care each week. Opportunities travel on human feet, and a calm, useful presence shortens your path more than raw hustle ever could. If your social battery drains quickly, learn to recharge wisely. You don't owe all of yourself to everyone all the time. Choose the interaction that feeds you that day. A small deep talk, may beat a loud room. Tell close people your limits ahead of time. I'm with you for 2 hours, then I need a little quiet. Clarity blocks misunderstanding and lets you return to them later with better energy. Keep a rescue kit for wobbly days. A 2-minute version of your key habit. A brisk walk around the block. A tall glass of water. Notifications off for 10 minutes. A brief check-in with someone who steadies you. When a day collapses, don't declare bankruptcy. Take a half dose, not zero. If the morning slips away, start in the next minute, not next week. When you mess up, repair quietly and name the change that prevents a repeat. Self-respect often grows more from a clean repair than from a perfect streak. Turn all of this into habit with a 30-day plan. First week, calm the body and name feelings while you begin the first rungs of the exposure ladder. Second week, practice opens, questions, and closing interactions with a concrete next step. Third week, climb a rung or two and ask a trusted person for honest, kind feedback. Fourth week, practice conflict, boundaries, and follow-through. At the end of the month, write what improved and choose the next couple of rungs for the month ahead. Then, give yourself a 90-day runway. In the opening days, lock in fast starts with a 2-minute minimum for any hard conversation and stage tomorrow's first line the night before. Over the next stretch, collect visible proof. Each evening, write 3 small lines about what you finished, what you learned, and the first line for tomorrow. Put a simple wallboard where you track delivered interactions, not hours sat. In the middle block, cut friction. Create if-then rules for your 2 biggest traps and keep your phone out of the room during your golden work window. After that, place one small social bet. Host a tight coffee chat, offer a short talk, help on a joint project, or run a mini pilot. In the final stretch, review and update identity. Rewrite your present tense self-lines to match who you're becoming, and draft 1 page to guide the next quarter. Use ready-to-go lines for real-world moments. Hallway or elevator. Good morning, plus their name, a warm observation, and a light question. If the connection is there, continue. If not, close kindly and move on. Meeting. Speak early with one crisp point, then yield. When you disagree, aim at the idea, not the person, and suggest a small test instead of a big fight. Negotiation. Deal with facts first, then shape the terms. Offer options that respect the schedule and the relationship. Apology. I did this. It had this impact. Here's the change I'm making. Boundary. This slot is booked. I can do Thursday at noon or Monday morning. Ending a chat nicely. I loved this conversation. I'll send a short recap of what we agreed on tonight. Grow a new inner identity with short present tense lines. I'm present and curious. I start small and repeat. I repair quickly and calmly. These aren't empty affirmations. They're operating instructions for your nervous system. Use them right before you walk into a room, at the first sign of nerves, and at the end of the day. Measure what you control, not what you don't. Count genuine hellos, good questions, follow-ups within a day, and times you fixed something cleanly. Those numbers are yours. Chasing a vague sense of general approval is a broken compass because it depends on moods you can't manage. Watch for familiar traps and flip each one. Vague goals, sessions with no first line, meetings with no close, trying to please everyone, phone inside the room, gatherings with no purpose, sugar spikes, shredded sleep, constant messaging, messy space, no daily minimum, and no honest weekly review. Turn each into a countermove. Clear target, prepared opening line, closing sentence, kind boundaries, phone outside, purposeful meetings that end with a step, steady food, respected sleep, 2 message windows, 1 clean square foot, a non-negotiable minimum, and a weekly truth-telling reset. You're not chasing a flawless social image. You're building a human presence you can repeat. Every small hello, every real question, every deep listen, Every quick repair adds a brick to your bridge. Brick by brick, your inner story shifts from I'm shy to I'm useful, calm, and present. Not because the world got easier, but because your program got smarter, kinder, and stronger. Take one step in the next 24 hours. Choose a small but real situation. Prepare a hello, a question, and a closing line. Walk in gently and do it. Afterwards, write 3 quick lines. What happened? What I learned about myself and the other person, and the next move. Repeat that little loop a handful of times this week. You'll feel the old word shy losing its power and see your presence turning into a quiet habit, not a loud leap you can't repeat. The takeaway is meant to live in you, not just in your notes. You're not permanently shy. You're a person learning the language of people the way anyone learns any language. You start with a word, then a sentence, then a conversation, then a friendship, then a steady network you can count on. With calm, consistent training, your respect for yourself and other people's respect for you grow together. Take a slow breath. Lift your head a touch. Let a real smile find your face, and begin where you stand with one honest word. Tomorrow, add the second. That's how confidence is built, the kind that lasts.